Bless up. Some of y'all been asking questions about like the difference between a community health worker and a peer support. And I have a video that I had put out talking about the differences. I'll put it like this though. Every certified peer support specialist is a community health worker, but every community health worker is not a certified peer support specialist. Look at it this way. If you ask me, community health worker be basic training for anybody talking about doing boots on the ground workout in the community. Anybody. That would be the basic training that everybody would have to take. You did. But anyway, man, I want to jump in here real quick and talk about why I'm saying that the community health worker credential is appropriate for reentry. Now, I'm not trying to take away from the peer support because I've been that for a hot minute now. You dig? I'm fighting for programs that are ran by peers, peer-led programs. I'm all about lived experience. Lived experience is magical. But I want to talk about why the community health worker piece is the most valuable route training for doing reentry work. Looking at this book, some of y'all just done took the class. Y'all had this book. Not all the community colleges use the book. Some community colleges use PowerPoint slides. Some use Moodle and all that stuff like that. I ain't mad at them. However you want to get the word out to empower the people to understand how to become or leverage their trust to be links, liaisons, intermediaries between the community and the resources you dig. However you teaching it, more power to you. But I'm going to tell you something about this here book. So I did the community health worker class at CVCC, and we did not use this book. This is the this is the Foundations for Community Health Workers, second edition. I want to say it was printed in 2016. Let me get in here real quick. It's late too, y'all. I'm sleepy. I broke my keto. We celebrated my mama's heavenly birthday today. And we went to Red Lobster and I ate cheese biscuits. I came out of ketosis and everything. But I want to touch base on why I'm pushing for the community health worker as the appropriate route. I'm going to read something from this, and I'm going to be breaking it down and doing like maybe even mini sermons, because one reminder I set in my phone was that I wanted to do like mini sermons with this community health worker book. I'm really going to do it. I'm really thinking about doing it. But it was two pieces I wanted to share with y'all. You know, like in this community health worker book, it dives in with talking about the difference between jail and prison and people getting out, you know what I'm saying, which is great. It talks about, the importance of advocacy. You know what I'm saying? The peer support training is solid, but it doesn't go deep into details about trauma-informed. I mean, some trainers have included some trauma-informed components into their training. But it goes in this book, man, it talks about mass incarceration, yo. Like, it talks about, like, listen, the war on drugs has been one of the single greatest force driving racial inequalities in imprisonment. Like, this is what it's talking about in this community health worker book, fam. The war on drugs. It talks about 1 in 10 black males aged 25 to 29 were in prison or in jail in 2009. It goes on talking about the health impacts of incarceration. You know what I'm saying? It talks about the racial disparities, bro. It talks about Bill Clinton escalated what his Republican predecessors began with a $30 billion crime bill that resulted in the largest increase in federal and state prison inmates of any president in American history. You know what I'm saying? This is what it goes into in this community health worker book. You feel me? When you're looking at it from a public health lens and you're looking at root causes, this is why. So when y'all hear me pumping this community health worker piece, it ain't clout chasing. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it's because this is where it said if we talk about reentry and it's really people that's passionate about returning citizen affairs, then they will understand that it's important, that it's vital that we discuss mass incarceration, the root causes of mass incarceration, the after effects of mass incarceration, and how we're going to better serve the people after they get out of prison. But we got to understand the whole story, right? And everybody want to use the words equity, diversity, and inclusion. They want to use them words so they hold them accountable. You feel me? And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I ain't going nowhere. And I was telling people, I was in a training a couple years ago, and in that training, man, I turned up because like they wasn't willing to talk about these items. They wasn't willing to make space to discuss these racial disparities within the system. And I disrupt it. Anytime equity is not the priority, I'm going to disrupt it if I'm in the space. So y'all that's watching this video right now, like before you go inviting Change Agent Cooper to your meetings, because y'all like to have all these meetings about meetings. Before you invite me, you better know if you really about that life or not. Because if you're not really about the equity, then I'm going to let you know. And, you might not want me there. If you're looking for somebody that's going to check the box and make you feel good, then I ain't the one. Because if you ain't really invested into this, then you're not going to be comfortable around me. Like, I'm looking for tangible tactics to heal the land. I've seen too many people get out of prison, lost in the sauce, no skills, no mentorship. You know what I'm saying? Come from a broken home, generations of broken homes. I come to end that, fam. I'm trying to have an impact. You feel me? God changed my life so that I can turn around and help others. He didn't rescue me so I could get comfortable. He didn't do everything he did in my life so I could just be comfortable. He did it because he knew that I was going to step up to the plate to be a voice to fight for others. And that's why I've been talking about this community health worker piece that centers on health equity. It centers talking about mass incarceration, the impact of incarceration on families and communities. You dig what I'm saying? It talks about mental health and how there's a stigma in certain communities. It talks about the social conditions of prison. It goes on to talk about in many prisons, fear defines a person's day-to-day existence, leading to a kind of a hypervigilance that may continue after they are released into the community. What you know about that? What you know about looking over your shoulder? What y'all know about that PTSD, man? I love this community health worker piece, man. Glory be to God for those that got this thing going over the years and those that's been doing this work. I've been doing this work as a peer support, but this community health worker piece aligns more with who I am as a person, fighting for the underdogs, leading with equity in mind. So, if you're hearing me talk about this community health worker movement and you're wanting to get into a training, it ain't hard to find me. Reach out to me. LinkedIn is the best way to catch me. I don't have a website for Change Agent Cooper LLC. I've been thinking about it. Shout out to Miss Betty Council, because she been telling me I need to get a website, but I just hadn't did it because I hadn't been really promoting myself as much as I've been promoting the initiatives. You dig what I'm saying? But you can reach me on LinkedIn and we'll figure out a way to get you into a community health worker training, because that's where it's at, man. Community health workers where it's at, serving as links, liaisons, intermediaries between the community and the resources. And there's a lot of resources out there, but still many of those resources are underutilized because the process of securing those resources can be cumbersome. And that's where community health workers come in at. Well, I done been long-winded enough. I was not planning on this video being this long, but I definitely wanted to talk a little bit about what I read in the Foundations for Community Health Workers book, that came out in 2016. We didn't use this book in the class that I took, you know what I'm saying? But I went ahead and bought it because when I was working at YMI and I was starting up that community health worker movement over there, you know what I'm saying? I was making sure that I was buying the books for people, you dig what I'm saying? And I went ahead and got one for myself. And I've been reading it, man, especially chapter 15, challenges of re-entry or coming home, because I love it. Even though I ain't in the class, I'm reading. And I don't even like to read. It's hard for me to read because I be thinking about changing the world. So many different things be on my mind, man. It'd be hard for me to read. But I read chapter 15. I read that. And I noticed in the community health worker piece, they talking about mass incarceration. They talking about racial inequities within the system. I know that, and I know I'm sleepy, and I'm done. My name is Change Agent Cooper, and I'm not the answer, but I'm for damn sure the alternative. Be blessed.